Women, what do you find the most confusing about men? Why some men don't go to the doctor or dentist, unless someone else makes the appointment for them. You can be completely oblivious to any mess in the house but can spot a wall that has been brush painted in the wrong direction from 20 feet away. You know that meme, where a woman is thinking, he's probably thinking about other women, and in actuality the guy is thinking the most random of things. Yeah, that. My wife's biggest gripe is that I will spend time hiking, drinking, driving, whatever with friends I haven't seen in months, and when I get home I will have absolutely nothing to report back despite having talked solidly with them for 6 hours. My wife on the other hand will casually pass a friend in the street and within 10 minutes knows what they've done every day since they last spoke, the health and financial status of them and all other friends and relatives, and a forward-facing calendar for the next 3 months. I find it confusing how men are so forgiving. It's one of the things I adore the most about men and find the most baffling. I'm learning now that men will get over things like 40 minutes after they happen and genuinely get frustrated and sad when their girls hold grudges. I've found that the people I've had falling outs with and was able to rekindle my friendships with were mostly all men. I also find it weird how men will fight each other and then be best friends the next day. I'm a dude, but why do we all pretty much collectively enjoy digging random holes, especially at the beach? Edit, just got back from the beach and yes, I did dig a hole there. Once upon a time, my girlfriend sent me into a gas station to get her a can of Mountain Dew. So I go in and search all over the place, but they don't have single cans of Mountain Dew, only bottles. But then I see it, a 12-pack of canned Mountain Dew. Now in my guy brain she said can, so I was not coming out of that store with a bottle. When I go back to the car with the 12-pack, she asked why I got 12 cans of Mountain Dew. I explained my logic and she started laughing uncontrollably. She brings this up all the time with other women when explaining how guys think differently. The obsession with being the one who is the master of the barbecue. Some men have absolutely no problem picking after themselves at work, but forget how to do it the moment they step into their homes. I swear it's like a switch. How can you keep a whole workshop at work neat and tidy, but forget that the laundry basket exists? Why they take such a long time to poop? Do you go in there when you actually need to go or just because you think you might need to go, so you just sit for a while to see what happens? As a woman, both kinds of trips to the toilet take the same amount of time for me, but every man I know makes pooping a 30-minute event. Why they won't buy a new wallet even though the one they're currently using is literally hanging by a single thread. Edit, I love and appreciate the fact that it's because it holds some sentimental value to most of you. Will keep in mind to gift those close to me in the future. Guy here. Sometimes when we're thinking about nothing, we're actually thinking about something we want to say but don't have the courage to say it. Sometimes, other times it's literally stuff like damn, that's a cool tree. I've learned a lot being married to my husband, but there's one thing I fail to understand in general. Why do you guys like to stare out the window so often? It's usually just going up to a window or looking out the front door, and you fall into a trance. What's up with that? When they behave as the smartest man in the world and 5 minutes later as the village idiot. My GF is still baffled at the fact that I can just turn off my brain and not think of anything. Why do men always have the prettiest and longest lashes? When my boyfriend is quiet for too long and I ask him what he's thinking about, and he says simply, nothing, and shrugs. This happens at least twice a month. What do you mean, nothing? You can actively sit there and just wipe your brain clean? No buzz? Just elevator music behind the eyes? What kind of freaking superpower is that, and where do I sign up? When guys are seriously injured, but act like it's just a scratch. That they can somehow walk it off. All the guys I know are like this. How their crotch doesn't hurt when they run or go up the stairs. Like, even with underwear, you just have stuff hanging down there. I don't even have a large chest, and it hurts to run regardless if I'm wearing a bra or not. The things they find brag-worthy absolutely boggle my mind. Like they brag about the things that don't even register, and the things that do matter they don't realize even counts. Acting like a person you are not at all in front of your boys, just to be cool, and every single one of the boys does that, and no one feels comfortable with that. How the F does that make sense? Speaking for my wife here, missing the toilet almost every time I pee to some degree, and then failing to recognize that I've missed until she points it out with physical evidence. How they're able to have so much fun with their friends all the time. They make digging a hole in the beach with their friends look like the most fun thing in the world. I really admire that. Their inability to close drawers and cupboards properly despite being practical and intelligent. This may be isolated to one individual, though. According to my wife and kids, I do this a lot. They always ask what I'm doing and what I'm looking at, and my answer is always nothing, really. It's the truth. There's nothing profound going on. I'm just enjoying not having to visually focus, or think, about anything. My wife along with her friends is amazed their spouses and I can fall asleep within a minute or two of my head hitting the pillow. I blame working a labor-intensive job, but I know some men don't fall asleep no matter what. She is also amazed that I can't properly load a dishwasher or put food away into the pantry. I always tell my wife if it's not or was not moving, on fire, or naked I didn't see it. That we ain't going to the doctor but the limb has fallen off. Men that are willing to pay a lot of money just for pictures of feet or boobs when porn can be free. Dicks, the way they work is confusing. Like I've been told they only react when seeing or feeling something they like, but I've also been told it will just decide to pop up randomly through the day with nothing. A year or so ago, I was spooning with an ex and napping. We both woke up to cum on my thighs and it was soaked through his underwear and I was like, wait, that's possible? So many men I know pass off just this really chill vibe and they all seem to just be cool with each other. How TF do they do it? Why do guys just sit in silence sometimes? I thought for a long time my boyfriend was sick of me, but he was just sitting there with his brain off egg. Friendship between men. It's like you guys find a group of friends in your teens or college years and be like, that's it, enough socializing for the rest of our life, and actually manage to maintain those friendships. How do you do this? I admit, I'm a bit jealous. But then again, so often dudes admit to me, they can't open up with their male friends, hide their feelings and problems and keep conversations shallow, which I think is kinda sad. Maybe that's the secret why those friendships last. But it adds to the confusing part, because I question a friendship's worth if it doesn't provide a safe space between the individuals. Disclaimer, I am aware both of those paragraphs don't apply to all men. I'm talking to the ones it does apply to. Rules seem to make you happy. My boyfriend plays a lot of tabletop RPGs and Battletech, and he said before that he's not enjoying a game because I quote, there aren't enough rules. It's all a bit confusing. Also follows for tasks, i.e., can you microwave X for me? No, that's confusing. Microwave X for 1 minute 30 seconds exactly. He's a happy man. Edit. To answer general queries. He has not been diagnosed with autism. He does have the spicy panic aka anxiety. I think this may be partly why he likes rules/specific instructions, though he does get a lot of autism/ADHD tic-tacs and is related to them, so maybe? He's a historian, specifically war history. Our microwave is 900W. The game recs are very welcome and lovely. He is aware of the thread and enjoying seeing what people are recommending for him. How is it that I know so many older level-headed men who have good values, passion for their work and opinions, and they aren't afraid of expressing themselves? The way they speak about their wives and families makes me want to go back into dating. But when I look at men my age, suddenly most of them are dodgy, scared of commitment and scared of having and expressing their opinions. I don't want to date men who are 50 to 60, but I'm so envious of their wives for finding such a good man to spend their lives with. Me after men's league golf. Arrive home. Wife, who'd you play with? Me, Joe, John, don't remember third guy. Wife, what did you talk about? Me, hockey. Wife, what else? Me, I don't know. How they can't answer or respond to more than one thing in a text message. How most of your fights with friends are like, punch each other, and then you're good and opos. Like how? They barely complain, even on very important things they need to complain about. Probably due to parents that suppress the shit out of anything they ever say unless it's easy for them to handle. When a guy will slip something very heartbreaking into a conversation, like something an extremely abusive parent did or whatever, and he's talking about it very casually and you're like, holy F my dude, are you alright? But you can't actually say that or overreact too much because he'll never tell you anything again if you do, so you have to sit there and be like, ah yes that sucks dude, but inside you are like, sir may I hug you please? How I can tell my husband where something is, and he can look right at it and say, with certainty, it's not there.